What's good, YouTube? Dom Staven Sports Cards here, back with another video. Hope you all had an amazing holiday with your families. Truly the most wonderful time of the year. And before we say goodbye to 2023, in just a few days, my good friend Hugo over at Signs of the Pastime has a VR going on where he wants us to show our favorite pickup of the year. Now, for somebody like me, I don't have a small collection. I like quality in quantity, and picking just one was not enough. So just for Hugo, who's been an amazing friend and supporter of both this channel as well as my podcast and his channel, Solo Shot Sports, I'm going to be doing a year in review for Hugo. I hope you appreciate it, brother. It's going to be fun to kind of go through all the different things that were added to my collection this year. And before I get into it, a lot of the stuff that has been added to my collection this year has been from friends and loved ones. And we have some Christmas cards here that I haven't opened on camera yet. So this one is from Eric 4-Leaf Cards as Santa Loungin'. And sending warm wishes this holiday season. Saw this at an LCS and had to get it for you after you reamed him a new one. Merry Christmas, Eric. And Eric, I did ream him a new one. He got me a 61 Fleer Ray Shock. If those of you that don't listen to Kraken Cooperstown over on Jake Legends Never Die channel, I did give Ray Shock an earful, and this is the one and probably only Ray Shock item to be in my collection. If you know, you know. Eric, I appreciate you listening to the podcast. I appreciate you thinking of me and taking time during the busy holiday season to send me something. I definitely had to open that on camera for you, and it's very much appreciated. Another one that I've been spoiled from other people's videos is the beautiful Wheaties reindeer. I knew as soon as I saw it that it was 52 Wheaties, and it's just so cool. I love the art on the inside, and he sent me some customs. Look at Scott eating cereal. Hey Dom, I hope this finds you well and that you have an amazing Christmas. Your best friend Scott. Scott, you're everybody's best friend. Really awesome card. I look forward to this as many times as you're willing to send it to me. The Mossy Claus last year was awesome, and this is next level. He sent me a Al Kaline custom and a J-Ram custom. Two great players, one Hall of Famer, one possible future Hall of Famer. And Scott, you're an amazing artist, an amazing friend, and again, I appreciate you thinking of me and sending me something during this busy holiday season. And the last package I have, I actually knew what was coming, and this is my buddy Scott over at Stukes Baseball Cards and Curiosities. He asked me if I had this. It is a late 70s Carly Yastrzemski pin. I'm very novice with pin collecting. I know my good friend Mark Hoyle, who does not make videos, has an insane pin collection, mainly Red Sox. But I did not have this one, and Scott told me that he would send it to me free of charge. I told him that was totally unnecessary. He said that this is from the Basement collection that Mike Moynihan has been piecing out, both at the Dallas show and through some great YouTube live sales. And to own something from Dave and his father's collection, coming from a great friend like Scott, it's super appreciated. He also included this Donruss Champion oversized Carly Yastrzemski. Absolutely love that. And getting into more of this, so many of you who I interact with and have had the pleasure to meet have really just leveled up my hobby and added amazing stuff to my collection. Scott, Stukes Baseball Cards and Curiosities, helped me acquire this 1960 Minneapolis Millers team photo with Carly Yastrzemski in the middle. Really awesome piece that he was looking out for me, and I would have never gotten an opportunity to get this if I wasn't on YouTube and I wasn't friends with Scott. So I really appreciate that, and I have at least one card here from other people that have added my collection in 2023. My good friend John over at the Mangini collection put on a contest that wrapped up at the end of 2022 into 2023, and he gave $50 to the 3 finalists to buy a card that would get voted on for another $50. So all intents and purposes, I consider this a gift from one of my good hobby friends. And the card that I picked out with my $50 was this 1968 Milton Bradley Rod Carew. This was a really fun video to put together. These are a lot tougher than the Topps cards from that year. They have the white stripes as well as a slightly different colored back. Really awesome picture of Carew, and I think of my buddy John every time I look at this card as one of the nicer pickups here in 2023. My good friend Shane over at Shoebox Legends sent me a care package which had a couple Adrian Gonzalez cards, but this was the highlight here. 1967 Topps sticker printing plate of Adrian Gonzalez, 1 of 1. Getting this from a dear hobby friend, it truly meant a lot, and sending cards to people during the busy holiday season, thinking of them, it's just a whole nother step of generosity. Your friendship is more than enough, but every time I look at this bad boy, I'm going to think of you, Shane. Again, Bradley Claus, he hit me as well as a ton of people in the PC this holiday season. He hit me with this jersey auto of Bobby Doerr, number to 25. Red Sox Hall of Famer, checks a lot of boxes for me. Really sweet card that every time I flip through, I'm going to think of Bradley Claus. Thank you, Brad8671. My good friend John over at 3D80s Kid was nice enough to send me this James K. Polk image that is circa 1888. It's the oldest item in my collection to date, and it's so awesome. He's my favorite president, and John is someone who is well-versed in collecting historical figures, and he picked this one out for me. So it's truly special, and will probably remain the oldest item in my collection for a long time. It's tough to get stuff that's older than 1888, but maybe one day. My friends Matt and Tyrus over at THA Card Story, it was amazing to meet them at the National. Matt and his family were super accommodating of me throughout the entire week, and he sent me this beautiful Venezuelan Topps League Leader card with Yastrzemski, Frank Robinson, and Al Kaline, 3 of my favorite vintage players to collect. And he did this out of the kindness of his heart. It was super nice of him to do so, and my first Venezuelan card of all 3 of these players. So every time I look through my Venezuelan PC, which is ever growing, I definitely will think of you guys for thinking of me with this bad boy. My good friend Joe over at Four Soft Corners sent me a little care package, which had a lot of nice cards, including a James K. Polk Modern card, but the card of that package to me was this 58 Topps Marty Ko rookie card. For people that don't know, Marty Ko's 1959 Topps card was the first vintage card I ever laid hands on, and I was immediately interested. I love history, and I love sports, and that card was what started this whole mess that you've been following along here on the channel. And for him to send me his rookie card that has that same blue, super nice, and a card that I surprisingly did not have, so really awesome. Thank you so much, Joe. My good friend Adam over at a Vintage Sanctuary, when we were hanging out at the National, he pulled me aside saying that it was a hobby goal of his for the show to buy a card for someone else. And I first offered my help, but he then said that I think it's just better if I give somebody cash and they buy something that they want. And he said that he wanted to give it to me. I told him it wasn't necessary, but he said, take it, get something you love. All I ask is that you show it to me before you go home. And I thought that was more than generous, more than fair. And I walked around looking for something that really spoke to me, something that had beautiful imagery, because I know me and Adam both appreciate that. And I found a table that had a lot of oversized stuff that was in boxes to the side, and that excited me immediately. And I looked through, there was a lot of great programs, books, and cards, and I picked out this Jet magazine from 1975 with Frank Robinson on the cover, talking about him being baseball's first black manager. Has a great cigarette ad on the back as well. And I got this 1968 Dexter Press Hank Aaron. Yes, Don, he's kneeling. And man, 2 items that probably wouldn't have fit into my budget of the show if it wasn't for a dear hobby friend looking out for me. Adam, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And every time I look at these items, I think of your generosity from Chicago. Totally unnecessary, but very much appreciated. And I made a never-ending trade series this year with my buddy Jake over at Legends Never Die. And he sent me a lot of great stuff in the couple care packages I got throughout the year. But the highlight to me was this Rick Farrell Perez Steel registration card. These are extremely tough to find. Jake is, I consider, the leading expert in these things. And for him to send me one where I didn't have Rick Farrell's autograph yet in my collection, so a new Hall of Fame autograph, a unique piece, and it came from a true hobby brother. So Jake, I appreciate you helping me add this to my collection, and I look forward to more installments of our never-ending trades in 2024 and beyond. Frank over at Baseball Hall of Fame Autographs, really great guy. I got to finally meet in Chicago and thank him for all that he does for the community. The source for Baseball Hall of Fame autograph information on YouTube. He was doing his Hobby Palooza segment talking about autographs, and at the very end, he showed like 10 items and said if you donate X amount of dollars, I forgot what it was, he will send one out to you, first come, first serve with the claiming. And I got this Jesse Haynes autograph check from him. I did not have a Jesse Pop Haynes autograph in the collection. I did not have a signed check in the collection, so it checked a few boxes there. And coming from Frank's amazing collection, I know he very much appreciates checks as well. It was an amazing thing. The money went to a great cause, Signature for Soldiers, and I got a great item for my PC as well. And the autograph train kept rolling because my good friend Will Steph, who does not make YouTube videos just yet, but it could happen, he added a bunch of Hall of Fame autos to my collection this year. Some just out of the kindness of his heart. He sent me these Perez Steel autographs, Tony La Russa, Harold Baines, Pat Gillick, Bud Selig, Jim Catfish Hunter, and Whitey Herzog. But he also sold me a few, and I have only shown one of these on YouTube, which is the Roy Halladay. He gave me a really fair deal on this sweet spot autograph. And he also added the first two 5-star autographs to my collection. Fergie Jenkins and Edgar Martinez gave me very fair prices on both of these. The best year of 5-star, in my opinion, 2012. So I've been keeping track of my Hall of Fame autographs this year. I almost had 50, and now leaving the year, I will have 63. Yes, I am counting Adrian Beltre, who is not yet inducted, but is well on his way to first ballot induction. So 63 Hall of Fame autographs from 48 when I started keeping track earlier in the year, and a big chunk of that is thanks to Will Steph. So I appreciate you, my friend, and I look forward to more conversations and deals in the new year. And finally, Christmas. And I know a lot of people have been showing off their amazing Christmas pickups that they either made for themselves. Some of you had amazing partners that got you a card or an autograph that was really big and special. I had two lovely ladies in my life get me gifts this year. I've mentioned my girlfriend Brittany a few times on the show here, and she told me she wanted to get me cards after going to the Shriner show with me a few months back. She thought that she understood my world and wanted to kind of contribute to my collection. So I sent her some links, and she actually got me two of the things on my list. She hit me in the just feels. Owning this card, finally, the 2001 Topps Pujols Ichiro rookie. I had the Pujols, I had the Ichiro, but I did not have the dual card, a truly iconic modern card. Pujols is my favorite player that I ever watched, and I now finally own this card thanks to her. And she hit me with the rare oddball vintage PC, 1969 Oakland A's Anderson of Jim Catfish Hunter. For those of you that aren't familiar with this issue, in 1969 and 1970, the fast food chain Jack in the Box came out with sports cards, both in basketball and in baseball. Baseball for the Angels and the Athletics. And this Catfish Hunter PSA 6 is a Pop 16, only 16 graded by PSA, only 4 higher. So this is just a truly gem of a pickup, something that would be a highlight of a show for me to find and to buy. And she thought enough of my collecting to get my favorite player, but also hit me with the vintage. So I appreciate her a lot, and that was special to get those 2 gifts from her. And finally, my mom, who always tries to push me towards asking her for a bigger thing for my collection every year for Christmas. Last year it was the Johnny Bench rookie, and this year she hit me with a 1 of 1 in the PC. I got this amazing 1987 Topps contract signed by Dwight Evans, Red Sox legend, in my opinion, future Hall of Famer, and it's also signed by Cy Berger. He was getting $75 per year to be in Topps baseball. This is an extension, and Topps did a lot of these through the Topps Vault. So these were available for sale through Topps for a long time. I learned about these originally because of John Mangini. He did an amazing video where he showcased about a dozen of these that he owns, and I was truly blown away, hoping that I could own one someday, even of just a common player. But the price that this was on eBay for Dwight Evans, who I do think will be in the Hall of Fame one day, was an amazing price, something that I could afford to ask my mom to get me, and I will truly think of her every single time I look at this piece of history. I need to do what John does and get the 87 Topps Dwight Evans to put in the top there. I couldn't find one in my Red Sox binder, but I know I have to have one somewhere. So thank you to all the people who gave me gifts this year in the community. I did not pull out my YouTube PC box that those cards from the beginning will go into, but I did get some awesome customs as well from YouTubers this year in 2023. To transition into the second half, which is my purchases, just straight up purchases from dealers, eBay, online, etc. I'm gonna go out on this first part with a card that me and Hugo share in common, the 1960 of Al Lopez. These are very rare, the McGregors, and I love this image, especially their blank back, because it has the McGregor glove very prominent in the foreground. PSA has only graded a handful of these, and me and Hugo both own them. Hugo did an amazing video about Al Lopez very early into his career, into his YouTube career, and I absolutely loved the video. He went to the Al Lopez Museum and gave a lot of fun facts about him, and when I saw these Al Lopez both for sale for very reasonable prices, I knew I had to buy them, and I knew I had to send one Hugo's way. So we are clubbies, as Adam Vintage Sanctuary likes to say it, on this rare Al Lopez issue. I'll be right back with my 2023 purchases. So before I get into my purchases from 2023, there was one big gift that I forgot to show off, and my good friend Dave over at Legends of the Dugout got me this amazing Kari Yastrzemski model bat for my birthday. It was extremely generous. I know how expensive and crazy these are to ship. So for him to think of me and send this up my way was truly special, and I need to find a better place to display this. But for now, the tube that he sent it in has been actually a really good place to kind of protect it and keep it out of the way. But Dave, thank you so much. This was another one of my amazing gifts that I got from the community this year. So that was awesome. 2023 actually started off with a banger. The rarest card in my collection. I got this 1969 Topps Super Proof blank back of Joe Morgan. Absolutely stole this, in my opinion, in terms of the price I paid for what this is probably worth. Something that Dave Blue Jacket 66 was showing off his mantle and saying it's the rarest mantle in his collection. It got me to add Topps Super back to my saved searches on eBay, and I found this bad boy very early in 2023, and snatched it up. And this was my first proof card as well, and that kind of started a mini trend in 2023, because I also got these two Catfish Hunter proofs. This one is a progressive proof from 1973 Candy Lids, and I also got the 1969 Decal Edge square proof. So added 3 proofs to the collection. Very rare for these cards that were already test issues, but to get the proof version of a test issue, it's another niche added to the collection this year that I'm very proud of. I added a lot of other new sets to the collection this year. The 1969 Transogram. I got the Frank Robinson complete box with the figure inside. That was a huge pickup. Thanks to my good friend Brian at BRoss6, I added a bunch of cards to my collection this year, but the biggest ones being the 1971 Greatest Moments set, Willie Mays, Vada Pinson, and Carl Yastrzemski. I hope to add more of these in the future. I've always loved this set, but to own them and them coming from a connection with one of my best friends in the hobby, truly a special set added to the collection this year that I always think of him when I look at them. I added some 1961 Topps Magic rub-offs, Pete Runnels with the Pistols, and Harvey Haddix, the Kitten. These are really fun. There's a few Hall of Famers in this set, so I might still add another one someday, but they're very neat. I added the Decal Edge with the actual Decal Edge as well of Jim Catfish Hunter, the plain one. And I got my second ever Cons, my first 1969, and this one is of Tony Perez. I love the colors on this one. So new sets added to the collection. Very proud of them. And I look forward to chasing more stuff like this in 2024. A few other odds and ends of cards that I had sets from before. I picked up this 77 Venezuelan League of Lou Brock. I picked up a couple Salada coins, Frank Robinson, Vada Pinson, and there's some Topps coins as well. Gaylord Perry, Fergie Jenkins, Juan Marichal, and Joe Morgan. Added a 66 Coke cap of Frank Robinson, which is the plain Coke. Added this 2004 Red Sox World Series ticket from the Clinton game, really awesome. And added a couple more Atlantic Oils, my birthday buddy Lou Brock and Al Kaline, with the 2 different backs. There's both the rules back and the play ball back. Those are always really cool when you can find them for the right price. You're going to notice that there's not a ton of basic Topps and Bowman's cards on this countdown. Got this Tommy John Milk Duds box this year as well as a couple more 68 Dexter Presses after the National. I was inspired by that one that Adam was nice enough to give me the funds for, and I got Dick Allen and Frank Robinson. And not that I don't love basic Topps cards, I added the 1978 Lou Brock card number 1 to the collection this year. I added the 60 All-Star Willie McCovey rookie card, and a few multiplayer cards that I've always wanted. Power Plus, Aaron and Banks, as well as the AL Bombers with Mantle, Kaline, Maris, and I believe it is Norm Cash. Yep. So those were the basic Topps cards that I added, but the majority of the stuff that I added this year was more of what I've been focusing on for the past few years. The basic Topps stuff, if you can get it for a great price, I love to add it if I don't have it already, but you can find that stuff any day at any table. So I focus more of my budget on the stuff that you don't see quite as often. And I did that both in the forms of single cards as well as sets. I know a lot of you know that I'm doing the 65 top set. I'm not going to go through which ones I picked up this year, but I am up to 72% done on that set, so that is really cool. Hope to get past that 75% marker in 2024, but it's going to be a side project. These two sets, one I completed and one I bought the complete set. The first one being the 64 Topps Giants. I had all the Hall of Famers, but I bought all the commons from a guy who was selling the set unsuccessfully. I said, hey, I already have all the Hall of Famers. Let's figure a price out if we take all the big money cards out. So Ken Boyer and Dick Groat were part of this. Vada Pinson. Some more commons around my Hall of Famers. The Giants I already had. All three of them are Hall of Famers. Same with the Braves. Sandy Koufax, I added the Frank Howard and Tommy Davis. The Roy Face. I had the bottom two there. I had the Nellie Fox. The Mets were all non-Hall of Famers, so those were great to add. Added the Elston Howard. Added all the White Sox. Added the Milt Pappas for my Orioles. Added the Bill Freehan for my Tigers. Added all the California Angels, including Dean Chance. Included all the Cleveland players that I got. I added the Camilo Pascual for my Twins. The other two Red Sox for my Red Sox. And all the Washington Senators. That Muscaron is a high number. It's a very tough card. As well as the Kansas City Athletics that Wayne Causey is autographed, which is a cool kind of bonus in there. Rocky Colavito as well, big star. So I was able to complete this 60 card set this year because I already had all the Hall of Famers, and that's so much easier to do the set that way when you can just buy all the commons bulk, as opposed to what I'm doing with the 65 set where I don't have the big Hall of Famers and I'm kind of just chugging along at it slowly. I can't get it done quite as fast as I was able to get this done. And the other set that I bought complete this year was the 69 MLB photo stamps. And you guys have seen these already. But they're just beautiful uncut sheets. National League and American League stars. This is the big page with Mays, Aaron, and Clemente on it. Aaron, Mays, Clemente, 3 in a row. But these are really awesome. I was able to buy this set complete for what I think is a screaming bargain. People don't typically look for these in the completed pages. They usually just look for the cutout ones of the players or team that they like. But seeing how they're distributed is always fun. And I'm honored to own this set as well. Something that I enjoy flipping through. And something that I keep in this binder, which is also a new set added this year, is the 66 RC Cola. He was a common player. This is a minor league set for the New York Yankees, but a card that I am honored to own as well, that I actually got on that same day in Cranston last year. I'm looking forward to going to Cranston again in February with my good friend Jim at Picker Jim S. And we'll see what I'm able to walk away with when I go there next. Maybe it'll be another set, who knows. I went on some kind of smaller journeys this year. I've been slowly getting more into pre-war. These were my non-national pre-war pickups this year. 1913 Napoleon Lajoie game, the blue. I got this 1936 high number batter up of Rick Farrell. And I also got this 37 Dixie lid of Carl Hubble. I went on a little bit of kick with Venezuelans, not just that Lou Brock I showed earlier, but I got a 64 Jim Bunning, a 66 Joe Morgan with the Rookie Cup, a 66 Veda Pinson, and a 67 Venezuelan League Louis Tiant. I love that card. Always fun to pick up the Venezuelan stuff, much tougher than the Topps cards from the same years. I had some fun little side chases for specific players. A lot of you will remember this Family Fun Center Dave Winfield that I picked up earlier this year. I made a fun video on that. But Dave Winfield and the Padres actually have a lot of cool like team issues from those mid to late 70s teams. So I got this little film reel of Dave Winfield. I'm actually happy with how that's showing up on camera. So that's a little film reel. And in 1974, his rookie season, McDonald's created Padres discs. So this is a Dave Winfield rookie card. It doesn't have a ton of information on the back, but it's a really cool team set that was issued regionally in McDonald's in California. So had a little kick of Dave Winfield this year, and there's a few other Padres issues of his that I'm looking to land in the future. Just a guy who's in the 3,000 hit club and is kind of looked at almost as a disappointment for how talented he was and him not having an even bigger career than he did. But I think he's still one of the greatest players ever, so I'm going to continue to pick up his stuff, especially when he's not wearing those pinstripes. I went on 2 kicks about sneaky Hall of Fame cases this year. The first one from my podcast, I picked up all of Steve Finley's basic rookie cards. So the Fleer, the Upper Deck, the Donruss the Rookies, the Score, and the Bowman, all from 89 of his. I think that he's someone that is very sneaky for the Hall of Fame. And a guy who's more current, I picked up his Topps Mini printing plate, 1 of 1, his rookie. These were an online exclusive, the minis. So this 1 of 1 is even more special to me than the basic ones. And I also put together his entire Topps Gold run. So I have the Gold rookie, 2nd year, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and his 2023, his 10th year, which I think is the best Topps design since the mid-2000s. I know my good friend Dylan over at Double D Vintage is a strong believer that this is the best one of the 2000s. To me, the 2007 black borders and the 2008 with the bubbles are both very good. They're very nostalgic to me, but it's definitely the best one in the last 15 years. Really awesome set that had an amazing rookie class that I actually went out of my way. I usually buy 1 or 2 rookies, and I went and bought a stack of rookies this year just because I love the design, and the rookie class is awesome. Corbin Carroll, Rookie of the Year, as well as Gunnar Henderson. Got Tristan Casas from the Red Sox, Josh Young from the World Series Rangers, Adley Rutschman with the Rookie Cup. He's going to be a stud. Kadai Senga, who had a very nice season for the Mets. Jordan Walker, who I still believe in a lot for the St. Louis Cardinals. Masataka Yoshida, who had a very good first season in the major leagues. Yuri Perez. I pulled these last 3 cards out of a hanger box that my dad got me for Christmas. Yuri Perez, 19 years old in the major leagues, throwing gas, getting out. He has a promising future. And I got these 2 rookie debut Adley Rutschmans, both the base and the gold. out of 2023 in my little hanger box, so I feel like I did pretty good. And this rookie class, I know at the end of the day, half of these cards are going to be in the quarter bin, but I do know a few of these players are going to end up putting up really nice careers, if not Hall of Fame worthy careers someday. So really great design, really great rookie class, and I was happy to add them. But I didn't just stop there with Modern. I got other rookie cards of guys who I'm prospecting to get into the Hall of Fame possibly someday. Jose Ramirez, 2014, a PSA 8. Cy Young winner Garrett Cole, well on his way to 3,000 Ks. Paul Goldschmidt in a PSA 9, MVP in 2022. John Lester, his 2008 updates and highlights. Yordan Alvarez, 2020 in a mint 9. Pete Alonso has been hitting a lot of home runs, mint 9. Shout out Big Scott 35. Marcus Semien in a mint 9. Jacob deGrom, hopefully he comes back well from his second Tommy John, mint 9. And if you look for these cards in 8s and 9s like I do, people don't want them. The 10 premium with Modern, if it's not a 10, it's worthless. To me, it's not. You're hoping when a card comes out of the pack that it's near mint or better. That's a 7 or better. So to me, if I'm getting 9s, 8s for the ultra modern stuff and 7s for the junk wax modern stuff, I feel like I'm getting a great example of the card. And if you put the 8 or 9 side by side with a 10, it's going to be hard to know the difference. This guy priced this Shohei Ohtani as a 9, but it was a PSA 10. I was worried that I wouldn't get the 10 that was sent to me, but he sent me the 10, priced the same as the other couple 9s on his website, and this card is his key rookie, his Series 2. Biggest contract in baseball history. It's going to be exciting to watch him playing for the Dodgers for the next decade. And this was the one PSA 10 that I got this year, only because it wasn't priced with that 10 premium. So I was willing to take the risk on that one. I also got some other fun modern cards. One of my favorite cheap pickups was this 97 Bowman Chrome Miguel Tejada rookie card. This is a guy who got caught for steroids, but he was an MVP. He was a good hitting shortstop and had a nice career. I picked up the Garrett Cole Update Rookie Gold for less than the price of a blaster box. Like, are you kidding me? Anytime I can do that for a good player, I'm going to do that. Marcus Semien, Garrett Cole, etc. I talked about it. Adrian Beltre, I picked up his autograph early this year because I knew by the time it got to this time of year, everyone would see that he's a shoo-in, and I had to get it before the window closed. On-card autograph from Upper Deck Old Judge. I picked up this printing plate at the Cranston show of John Lester, a yellow one from his days with the Red Sox. It was my first printing plate in my collection. I now have a couple. I picked up a few Hope Diamonds this year. I didn't take out all the minor stars, but I did get 2 Hall of Famer Hope Diamonds. Scott Rowland, which I got for under $10. Hope Diamond, number to 60. And the biggest Hope Diamond of the year for me, my favorite modern parallel, David Ortiz, Big Papi. This was a very early year pickup, and I love this card so much, numbered to 60. The biggest modern pickup, though, of the year has to be my Albert Pujols autograph on his 2001 Top Stars rookie card. The card is graded a 7, but I don't care about that. I care that the auto's authentic. I care that this is an authentic rookie card. My baseball hero. This is a lifetime hobby goal for me to have an Albert Pujols autograph. And now his window has started where he's been retired from baseball and is no longer in the public eye, even though he hit 700 home runs and did a lot of great stuff for the Cardinals in 2022. How soon people forget, how soon the prices drop. And I'm looking forward to picking up more Pujols stuff between now and when he's eligible for the Hall of Fame. But I have the autograph checked off the list, and now I can move on to his parallels and different other cards that I want. So I love this baby. Speaking of modern, At the National in Atlantic City, I did pick up a tiny bit of modern, but I'm not going to show it off. I have this pile here. Of cards that I picked up at the National. I had some pre-war love. Sweet Caporal, Harry Hooper pin. Love that. I picked up a photo pack of J Publishing for the White Sox, and I was gifted a Red Sox photo pack from Dave, Legends of the Dugout, as well. I keep these together since they're blank backs. I picked up this gorgeous Dave Mann Union Oil card. I love that image so much. Bill Mazeroski, 1958 Topps autograph, second year card. '83 Topps foldouts of Carl Yastrzemski. This is a very low PSA pop. I got this 1966 Cardinals scorecard that is signed on the inside by Juan Marichal, the Dominican dandy. This video is long enough, so I'm not going to open it up, but I got it JSA certified at the show. It came back authentic right away. My three big pickups from the National were this 1967 Red Sox team issue of Carl Yastrzemski, PSA pop 7 or 8, very low. Super awesome to grab that. I picked up this circa early 60s favorite tobacco chewing pouch of Nellie Fox on the front, and it has some other players on the back. It's pretty cool. The Ziploc will kind of block that out for you. I've been looking for a case for this, and I cannot find something that fits it without it bouncing around, so I have it just air sealed in a Ziploc for now. And probably my pickup of the National, I went pre-war with it. And this is a set that I wasn't sure I was ever going to own in the collection, but I'm so glad that I do. And it's this stunning image of Lefty Gomez from the 1933 Warsh cigar set. Super awesome. I picked up a couple Warsh cigar boxes to display this with, and I am looking forward to making a fun display out of this here on the desk. But that will be a down-the-road thing to put together. I need to find the right case and space everything out properly. So those were my National pickups. I didn't make any huge pickups after the National this year, but a card that had been on my want list and was my last big pickup of 2023 was the 1967 Topps Who Am I? Willie Mays scratched version. There were disguises that you would scratch off with a coin or your key, and there'd be clues both on the back and on the front for who the person underneath was. I love this Willie Mays card, and we'll be going out with it. So I know I didn't show every single thing that I was either gifted this year or purchased this year, but I feel like I've covered a vast majority of the pickups. It was an amazing year in the hobby, not just with all this amazing stuff that I showed, but with all the connections that I made, the people that I got to meet, the people that I got to get to know more, and it truly was another blessed year in the hobby. For those of you that are out there watching and aren't making content or getting involved on YouTube, you're just watching, I strongly suggest that sometime in the new year, it doesn't have to be right off the bat, press play, make a video, share in the love of picking up all this awesome stuff. I showed a great variety of things, so I assume that I hit one of your favorite things throughout this video, but maybe I didn't, and I want to hear more about what you love to collect. I want to connect with you, and I know there's so many other great friends in this community that want the same thing. So press play, get involved, share the hobby with everybody, And after a 2023 recap, it only feels fitting to make 2024 hobby goals. And my goals won't be super specific. I said this at the beginning of 2023 that I don't want to have very strict goals. But the main things that I want to add this year are a Willie Mays autograph, and I want to also get over the 75% threshold for my 65 top set. In the ideal world, I hit 80%. Right now, I told you about 72. So somewhere in the 3 to 8% growth is what I'm looking for on my set this year. I have no pressure and rush to get it done in 2024, especially with some of the big cards I still need. But I don't want it to go completely on the back burner. I do want to keep progressing towards finishing it so it can be finished and shown off for all of you one day. I appreciate every one of you who checked out this video, especially those of you who stuck with me until the end. This is going to be one of my longest videos on the channel, but it was for Hugo, someone who has supported me in so many different ways, and he wanted to see what people picked up this year. I hope, Hugo, that I showed a great variety of different things that you picked up. Please let me know in the comments below, because I couldn't pick a single favorite thing. What was your favorite pickup of mine from 2023? And what is your biggest chase card for 2024? For me, it's a Willie Mays autograph is my biggest chase item. So card, item, etc. that you're chasing in 2024. I want to hear what you thought of my 2023 and what you're looking for in 2024. I'll catch you guys in 2024 with more videos, more connections, and more cardboard. See ya.